healthy and also be more organised with your meals. You've got fitness goals that you want to reach, but also you don't want to eat really bland, plain foods and find that you can kind of stick to that for a few days, but then you just can't keep it consistent. This video is for you. We're going to make 3 one pan, everything all in one, which is what I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with anything that tastes really good, is easy, doesn't need loads of pots and pans, and doesn't take like hours and hours each week in the kitchen. So that is what we've got coming up. We're making breakfast, lunch and dinner. Each recipe is high in protein, really tasty, and even breakfast looks and tastes like dessert. Can be had as a snack throughout the day and also doesn't require any protein powder, which is so rare, isn't it? It's got 25 grams of protein per portion for the first recipe, and we're going to jump straight into it. Before we do that, if you could hit this video with a like, I would appreciate it so much. It just helps and supports my channel and also means I can bring you more videos like this. Let's get into the first one. First recipe is starting strong with these pancake bowls, which are protein powder free. They've got 33.5 grams of protein per serving and they taste like cheesecake. They get better as the days go on. You can have them hot and cold. I really can't decide which tastes nicer. So recipe is 740 grams of a low-fat Greek yogurt. Make sure you use a nice thick Greek yogurt. I always think the runny ones just, I don't know, they don't do it for me consistency wise. Then we're taking 8 eggs. What I also love about this is just how minimal the ingredients actually are. Super clean and yummy. Then you're taking 1 big heaped tablespoon of maple syrup or honey. I prefer to use honey, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract and oat flour. So I'm using 120 grams of oat flour. You could also use any other alternative. If you don't have oat flour in as well, literally just whiz oats in a blender and you have oat flour. 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and then I mix that around, make sure it's not too bitty. Add generous amount of sea salt. I definitely need to get myself a whisk at this point. And then I'm adding in optional fruit. I put around 40 grams of blueberries in each, so 160 grams total. Make sure you have sprayed the containers, whatever you put these in. I use a little bit of olive oil spray just so it doesn't stick. Then you want to bake for 30 minutes in the oven at 180 degrees. This is perfect for meal prep or for breakfast that day or whatever you want. Honestly, it's so versatile. So that is the cooked pancake bowls of dreams. I love to top these with some peanut butter, some dark chocolate and a little bit of cinnamon. Really is the same texture as cheesecake. Like, look at that consistency. I just cannot. Like, if you're someone who's got an appetite like me, then you will flipping love this one. Oh, I just know you're going to love this one. So you want to take your one pan for this and give that a little blitz with some olive oil spray, and then pop your salmon fillets. So I'm using 500 grams of raw weight salmon fillet. Try and get wild caught if you can. That is always much better. And then give them a flip once they're cooked through, and then you want to take about half a white onion, dice that into little bits. I love white onion. I love any onion. I really think it's underrated. Like, this is what adds the flavour, I think, to a lot of dishes. And then once the salmons are pretty much cooked, you want to just pop them in a bowl separately. Give the pan a little spritz of oil. Add your onion to the pan, and then you want to take your tomato puree. So I'm using a tablespoon. Then some tomato fritto. So I don't think I pronounced that right, but I used half of that, so about 250 grams, half a tin. And then 1 punnet of cherry tomatoes just chopped. And then you want to take some light coconut milk, so 1 tin, which is 400 ml. Give that a little mix and allow that to simmer before adding your salmon fillets. Pop them the skin way down first and bring that up to allow them to cook. And so you've got a nice little bit of bubble, making sure everything's cooked and sort of melted down. And then I added some coriander on top. Okay, I wanted to cook some rice, so I did this in the microwave. It's literally just 1 bowl, okay? I just did about 120 grams of cooked rice to each container, and then added a salmon fillet into each, and then poured out the gorgeous curry sauce, which I just wish I could give you a taste of this through the screen. So nice. Eating well, eating healthy really doesn't need to be bland. If this is your vibe in terms of recipes, you will love my recipe ebook, which means you can have it all on your phone or you can print it off to have it in your kitchen, so you've got everything in one place. You're not having to search around for recipes on TikTok in your notes and whatnot. not, I'll leave it linked down below. It doesn't need to be chicken and rice, okay? Like, you can have gorgeousness like this. Like, salmon is packed with healthy fats, protein, such lovely macros. So this has got 30.7 grams of protein per portion. It is sensational. Like, this would be such a gorgeous dinner to make for your family or to take somewhere. I just top with a little bit of lime, coriander, and that is it. Not to toot my own horn, but honestly, this salmon bowl tastes better than a takeaway curry. I'm in my fish era at the minute. Like, I feel like you can't beat a good fish curry, so got to try this. Definitely tag me if you do. I would love to see how you get on. Forgot to mention I added some green beans as well in with the salmon curry, just for some veggies snuck in there. You can't really taste them, but absolutely sensational. Okay, you can start by preheating the oven to 180. We're making 1 pan turkey meatballs with roast sweet potato. This is one of the best recipes, all from scratch and so easy to make. So you want to start by chopping up into cubes your sweet potato. I'm using 625 grams of raw weight potato and then 1 small red onion, thickly kind of sliced so it doesn't cook too quickly, 2 bell peppers, a red one, which is just the juiciest, isn't it? I always think they taste the best. And also a green one, thinly sliced. I track my veggies in their raw form. It's just the most accurate if you're tracking your macros, and you can literally just calculate the total and then divide it into 4. So I'm spraying my sheet pan with some olive oil spray. You could also use baking paper on the base of that. I just didn't have any left. Spraying my veggies and potatoes before seasoning with oregano, basil, which is my current obsession, some mixed herbs, and Himalayan salt and pepper, and that is literally it. And then in my preheated oven, that just goes in first for 20 minutes. Of course, with your potatoes, they take a little bit longer, say if when you're cooking meat. Next, you want to take your food processor. I'm sadly using a blender, so I don't have one currently, but you want to take 470 grams of raw turkey breast. You could also use chicken breast or any of your favorite meat to make these meatballs, and you want to season this really well. This is what brings all the flavor together. So I'm using 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion granules or powder, salt, a generous amount of salt, pepper, and any optional, and also a garlic clove minced. Then you want to add 1/4 cup of chicken broth. If you don't have that, just also use water, and you don't want them too runny, as in you want to be able to form proper meatballs. If they've turned out a little bit soggy at this point, do not worry, just add some breadcrumbs or flour and also an egg to that mix before whizzing it up in the food processor. Then pop those meatballs into the oven for 20 minutes, and in total it takes 40 minutes for that all to be cooked. So easy. There we have it. So our meatballs and potatoes and everything are cooked through. I just love how quick and easy this one is. If you're someone who's just like, I don't have time to cook, please give this one a try. You'll be so surprised how delicious it is. It's kind of like a roast in a bowl. You can take these to work, you can have them cold or hot, and just really versatile. Also top with things like avocado as well to get your healthy fats in there, and they just store super easily, and I feel like just taste better as days go on. Like, I love recipes like that. You can be in and out of the kitchen in half an hour. Like, you could have all of these on the go. This is what just makes hitting your macro goals so much easier. Just a little bit of preparation, and it doesn't need to be 5 hours in the kitchen, you know, and these just store perfectly. I feel like you're going to love these recipes. Don't forget to tag me in any of your recreations if you give these a try. And if you want all my recipes in one place, you can download my recipe ebook, which is in the top line of this video's description. I also have my Flowing Club membership if you want to get my workout programs and recipes, full access and everything in one place. That is also there. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.